Come and shoot the breeze with myself and guests as we deep dive into some topics that may just pin your eyelids right back. Good afternoon and good evening to all of our viewers from across the globe, and welcome to you all, and push the subscribe button on my YouTube channel. That would be wonderful. And today we've got in the series of Shoot the Breeze. I'm sitting here with beautiful Dawson Dobson, who you may all know,
Yes.
some of you, as Ruth Elizabeth. And so we're
Yes.
going to have a chat around all of this today and much more around Twin Soul. Oh my gosh, it's just a subject that is really, really interesting. So anyway, welcome, Dawson, and let's get you to explain the shift in yourself, which brought about this. You're actually muted, darling. That brought about this change of name and identity. Welcome.
What a trip this is that we're living. Okay. There's so many crazy surprises around every corner of this journey of ascension. And it's been absolutely amazing. I mean,
So
I probably haven't done any talking to anyone for about 3 years now, since Diamond Matrix Masters, but not because I didn't want to, it's because I've been told to shut up. It's not that, it's actually to come into myself. And most of all, it was actually to heal myself. So I was to come down, and I've had to just stop, because until we actually know who we are and what we are without the noise and the busyness, and also what we're doing out of trauma. So the things we do out of trauma, it's shocking. Okay. And so there's a little talk in itself. You know, I'll just explain it because it's why we have to stop. You know, it's like I
yes.
found myself to be like what I call
Yeah.
a tree growing sideways. Okay. And I actually lived with a tree in
Yeah.
on the island in Vancouver Island, and the tree, it was a gum tree, Australian gum tree growing sideways. So it was very significant to me. And I knew that it was a powerful message. So what happens when
Oh,
you've got trauma? When you've got trauma, this is why we've been clearing, and we call it our shadow self. You know what? I don't even like the word shadow. I think that's a whole. But the reason I say it is because trauma is where my innocent child, okay, back in the age of 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, whenever it was, experienced something that shut it down from being a first creator. And so what it does is the pattern or the belief that takes on is sending it into what I call a secondary creator, which is the tree growing sideways. So instead of just always being a primary creator, boom, 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 I'd always have those moments that pop up and whee, off we go.
yeah.
We're creating, yes, manifesting, yes, having a great time, yes, it's shut down. Why does it shut down? Because I've got this terrible
Yeah.
moment of something in my life that is still governing my creatorship. And so this is a lovely way. I love seeing it as this, because it's not my shadow. Okay. It's when I, as a child, experienced something and I was hurt. Okay. I was hurt. And children make decisions. Now, this is a really
Yeah.
interesting point. So children make decisions in an environment that they make a summary of. And Winnie does something called the chart, the Michael charts, and they're incredible. But there's something called a chief feature on it. And on the chief feature, it could be stubbornness, it could be, it's something that I take on, a sense of impatience or whatever it is. And again, it's the tree growing sideways. And it's because I found myself in a situation as, say, an 8-year-old that goes, you cannot have what you want. And you go, I will have what I want. And that 8-year-old will do anything to push through to make sure it gets, even
Yes.
though its environment has told it can't have what it wants. And that's the first creator. So if the first creator as the child is actually being shut down all the time, okay, and this is what trauma is. This is all that trauma is. It's like, it's
Mm.
simplified. It is you not being allowed to think, breathe, speak for yourself. Okay, you're not allowed to live. And so our systems shut down. We become terrified of different things. We say no to everything. Our brain central nervous system cease to flourish. Okay, and so this is what the releasing and the going deep is creating that release. Okay, so I won't go any further into that, but to become a primary creator after understanding that I've been a tree growing sideways, okay, up until, even 2 years ago, I was taught about my rescuer, the last part of me that really had to go and got a smack on the knuckles in the loveliest way, because everything they've shown to us is love, is it not? It's my greater
Yeah.
me being
Yeah.
shown, oh, you're so not this, babes. You're so not this. Just let this part go.
Yeah.
It's not shadow, okay?
Yeah.
It is letting a part go that you found important to you. And this is what, I mean, I am the author of the book. You know that. Diamond Matrix Masters Self Mastery Level 1. And it is level 1. It's baby stuff. And yet it has everything as to
Mm.
who and what we are within it as a creator with our own triune being. Divine feminine, divine masculine, the Holy Christ child. And so when we actually
Yeah.
understand that we are living creators of something, then we can own what we've been creating of. So if I have something on my quantum field, if I have something on my quantum field that is holding me back, or a belief that says, no, I've got to use impatience and daring, and people go, but that's really cool. That's the rebel. And I used to get called a rebel all the time. And I go, yeah, that's really cool. No, it's not. It's a chief feature in my life that I've had to be that to get past the blocks, okay, in my life that said you're not allowed
Absolutely.
to be
Yeah.
that primary creator. So everything is from the
Mm.
top down. Okay, so everything is who I actually am at one with Source, coming down into my experience as that which I've been clothed in. Okay, my story. So it's a beautiful thing that we're
Mm.
actually coming to this place now of taking all the
Yeah.
old gear off. Okay.
Absolutely.
Um, Not that we do that in Montreal at -17 because it's freaking cold.
Mm.
Anyway, now, did you say something about name change? Actually,
Yeah.
you talk for a minute, okay? I'll have a
Yeah,
sip.
and it was around what brought you. I get that we move through all of this that we have learned from a child, like you're saying, the tree growing sideways, and we come back to this. Um, and with that structure, what we've done is we've become, aware of who we really are, and in that, a lot of people today seem to be changing their name. And and it's creating a different identity to who they were, and I call it part one. you know so tell me about that. Why Dawson Dobson? Like, what was it that prompted that actual name for you?
I swear to God, I had nothing to do with it, and yet everything to do with it. This is the cool part. So, I mean, I'm not into changing the name to Lollipop or, things like that that are just trivial stuff. This is actually a time that we're changing timelines. And we've been knowing of these things and talking about them, but what is
Mm,
the reality of it? Well, I've lived the reality of it, okay?
mm,
And it is cool as it is so cool. Frightening, okay, in one sense, because everything is being sped up. And because we're coming into the inner and higher realms of energy, everything is shifting to a pace that, before we were like shipping ourselves out to sit in a cave and meditate, which is cool, okay? I mean, there's been that time,
Mm.
but we're also here to come online. So we're coming online, just as the world's coming online with all of its nonsense, we're coming online with the Crystal Cathedral architecture. We're coming online with the 144, okay? That is the beauty of the true inner creation worlds here, okay? So from the inner to the outer to the inner, we're actually blending and merging the two together. And so this time is lifting humanity out of the doldrums of the Piscean age. We're coming into the age of Aquarius, the photon belt we've now moved fully into. This is the golden age being set.
Yeah.
And so with that comes skills and abilities that we never thought we had as the next part of ourselves begins to present itself. Okay?
Mm.
So a number of years ago, I got told, before I came to Canada, I began getting the messaging that you're going to go into filmmaking. And it just started coming all over the place. Your next identity or your identity is as a filmmaker. And I'm going, that's amazing. I've always had the most brilliant eye for everything from audio to visual to whatever. And it's like, if I was doing that film, I would have done this, this, and this, and whatever. And just natural skills and abilities. But
Yeah.
don't have the worldly skills to do it, okay? Which is why we know the Christic teams are coming together, and it's like those with those abilities are going to just and pull it all together. It's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
What happened is then it was coming to me in a dream, and it was at a time that I can only say to anyone that's listening, the greatest thing that you can do is go, I don't know who I am, but I reach up inside myself, inside my own signature, and receive all that I am. Okay?
Mm.
And when you reach up, it's like reaching up like a child that's having a jumper, or a shirt or something pulled down over you, make you all cuddly and new, okay? And
Yeah.
gets you into that next course of action. And that's exactly what happened to me. And I just reached up and I was in this space for some time of just going, I don't understand all that I am, okay, yet, because we've come from 3D and we've been incarnating for cycle after cycle after cycle. And some of us are goddamn bored with it. And we're actually really tired,
Yeah.
we really are. And we've been doing this for a
Mhm.
long, long time. Trying to get back home again. And so not all of us are sighted. We're not all gifted in the ways that we think that we should be. I wanted to say, don't worry about
Mm.
it. Okay, it's like seriously, calm down
Yeah. Yeah.
and just be present in this moment.
Mm.
Okay, because trying's not going to get us anywhere. And so I'm not, as great as many that are out there that can just go, oh, and I see all the heaven worlds. Okay, but what comes through me is significant. I just have to trust that, okay, and just
Mm.
receive what my gifts, abilities, and level of attainment where I am at, okay.
Yeah.
And that's as conscious as some of us can be. But when
Mm.
it came to the change of name, I began to dream it, okay. So it was coming through in dreams. Dawson, Dobson. I'm going, you're kidding me. I picked the name Dawson Dobson. But it's really interesting when you actually look at it, it's like a great name for the film industry. Okay. It has
Yeah,
everyone's
for sure.
baffled. And then I've got people asking me what pronouns I'm using. And I go, oh, same, I'm chick. Don't worry about it. But
Yeah.
it's this whole, think about it, it's so cool. This whole war, this whole thing has been about gender manipulation. The
Yeah.
divine feminine and divine masculine torn into, and Garden of Eden stuff and all this stuff, jazz, which, by the way, what my films are going to
Yeah.
be. They're massive, beautiful films. And they've all come through in dreams and visions and knowledge and how we came to be in this place. I love the origin, okay, to bring people to their point of origin. And what is that? That's where we come from, isn't it? That's the remembering
Mm,
of our own nature.
yeah.
But we've come into so much segregation, we've forgotten so much, and so much has fallen from us that we're returning back into the beauty and the nature of before timelines even existed. I mean, when we actually
Mm,
talk about a timeline, and I've been mentored by Saint Germain for many years, okay? I'm talking 30 more years now.
yeah.
So it was always the Christos, Yeshua. And then it was Saint Germain with Violet Flame, and came in and was just restoring me back into the God self and the God self and the God self. And when we came into our twin flame journey, myself with Whitney, okay,
Hmm.
who I'm hoping that you will talk to because it's very important to get this straight. But when we came back into it, or into our twin flame journey, when it ignited beyond my sense of control, etc., it just happened. It was huge.
Mm,
The knowings in the inner world, traveling, the freedom, the changes that came with it were all a part of moving forward, and bringing the codes in that if you have a look at this property, if anyone just tunes into that property, that is a crystal cathedral property. That is where my entire body just completely opened in, magnificence. It's like we've got the all of the beautiful goodies of the Crystal Cathedral happening on this property. And so our work as Twin Flames, we've been actually coding all the way through Canada, the US. So we've taken it from here in BC and taking it all these places. So we haven't been on an extended holiday as people thought. We've actually been working very hard. But these codings are New Earth codings, the rainbow, and the golden and violet child, the Christos Sophia, okay, has all been coming online. So the New Earth elementals are clearing, restoring, awakening all of the codings, and that's what the twin flames are about.
yes.
And so we're all finding our footings and our people, and it's exciting, messy. Um, it's not an easy journey, okay? Taking on something so beautiful, and yet it's stunningly gorgeous at the same time. It's a love
Yeah.
journey, it really is. And I thank all people involved in mine, okay? And our
Yeah.
monadic groups, okay, our Christic groups, our Christic teams, Elemental Command, I thank all of them for being a part of it. So, yeah, so Dawson, I was reaching up into it. I started getting this information, and and I was reading the St. Germain's book. I should get it for you. It's a wonderful read. We could probably put it in the comments or whatever. But
Yeah.
his journey, twin flame journey with him and Portia,
Yeah.
and he's going from the human, and he was an amazing human being, and what he did with Roger Bacon, and um, being able to manipulate energies and alchemy and all that type of jazz in Europe. Lived 200 years, seated in America. It was like just a massive.
Mm,
Became ascended master while we're here, but he didn't have the twin flame union, and Portia was waiting lifetimes, okay, for him to finish off playing games. Okay, it's the personality trying to do it in a singular capacity. And in a sense, that's what I've been as well. And it's coming into the union, okay, that is the mastery of creation, which is full-blown love, which is the taking on all of your attributes to be able to create, etc. So when we're actually raising our hands up inside our own signature, we're saying, I receive all of me, okay? And so within that
mm,
is the masculine part, which is electric, and the feminine part, which is magnetic. And so I play the electric male role. So yeah, it's not about gender, and I think this is why there's a lot of gay people in these relationships coming in, and we're talking lots. Okay, we only work with twin flames, so we see a lot. Similar stories, gender, it's genderless, of course. And
Yeah.
so all of
Yeah.
these things are happening that's significant. What it is the electric and the magnetic working and braiding together as one, okay, to bring in the kingdom of God, the new earth, okay, the next age. And it's coming through divine counterparts. And all of the indigos, I believe, are divine counterparts. Okay, I think anyone that's out there that is on this, you have this heart that is phenomenal. Okay, and it's going to continue to grow and expand, and you're just going to become more and more. Funny thing is, we just bump into ourselves. Isn't that funny? We think that we're going, oh, we're going to go back to God and we're going to go do this and that. No, you're coming back into this moment with
That's
you.
right. It is. It's
Isn't
so
that
cool. I
cool?
love it.
It's like, oh my
Yeah.
God, what are we arguing with?
Yeah.
Why didn't somebody tell me to be Dawson Dobson, you know? Ruth Elizabeth, she was like the ultimate rescuer. Okay, this is a very important book because it teaches you power.
Yeah.
Okay, it teaches you about triune being. But at the same time, you have to be all of that to then be all of this because the God self wants to experience me.
Mm.
Okay. And the God
Mm.
self with Whitney is her and I combined. That's our God self. So if I'm not being truly me and only me in this present moment, which is now a filmmaker, then I'm trying to be all sorts of things for other people. And that's
Yeah.
not going to work. Okay, that's what
Mm.
hurts because there's a big buffer zone that has to be healed. And so that's all I've been doing is healing so I can be more of me. And now all of that inspired action comes in. And so it's like,
Mm.
whew, if you could just photograph my brain, film my brain of the nighttime, it's like, whoo, I'm going to scenes and story times and, oh, we're going to do it like this. So we're getting the strategy from who are we getting it from? We're getting it from us, our creatorship, what we've
Mm.
already predestined to bring into this world and reality. And that's what we're doing. That's all I have to do is live
Yeah.
my reality. Isn't that cool?
Yeah. It is very cool. And it's so exciting, we're talking about part one and part two in respect to our life that we've lived here, Ruth in part one for you, Dawson now in part two. And it's that shift that moves you from like it's that you see it just moving away from you. Part one moving away when you've finished up with
Yes.
it. There's no holding on to it in any way, shape, or form. It's just done. And I'm loving watching more and more people come into that place at this time. It's lovely. So lovely.
It is beautiful. It's like a
Mm,
dream. I mean, or a past life.
yeah.
I prefer a past life. Seriously, Ruth Elizabeth was past life. I actually had to karmically clear everything that she came to do. So she
Yeah.
was clearing, I'm talking her as third party in one sense because it's old, it's finished, it's another life. It was me.
It
Yes, I've done
is.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at the same time, it's become I'm not that anymore. Okay, there is so much more now to come.
Yeah.
And this is about being present. And I really call everyone that sees this as being present in this moment. Okay, so that you can bring forth your own mastery, your own genius, because it's in you and
Mm,
you're the only one. And don't worry about if you're not going to get it because it is going to come. It's going to come. It's coming. Okay, it
absolutely.
truly is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no turning back now. There's no way that it can be stopped even.
No.
It's just that. I love it.
And those energies that I got in contact with you about and sent you
Yeah.
that message, please put it up because it's very powerful. But all of the new energy that's coming in, oh, I keep talking new. Honestly, it doesn't give it enough glory. Okay, it really deserves that article to be read from Lisa Renee from this
Yeah.
month. I think it was her newsletter. and it's called
Yeah.
the Golden Christ
There's a
being,
lot
something
in
like
it.
that.
Lots in it.
Yeah,
You know,
and
like
I
I'm going
recommend.
back in to have another look because it's like so
Yeah,
much that it's,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
If spirit brings us something to us, don't tell me that it's too long because I don't care whether you read it or not, okay? But people go to me, oh, it's long.
That's
I
really
go,
long. I know it
I don't
is.
care. Just
No.
take your time, all right?
Yeah,
And I was
for sure.
actually telling people, you read it 3 times and you do the activations and then tell me
Mm,
about the length, okay? What I got
yeah.
from it, I was out for days, okay? Just bringing in. It's got so many alignments in it, so many things that I've
Mm,
had physically needing to be fixed, changed, twisted, okay? Because everything about this is about the inverted system, okay? Everything
mm,
about our bodies, about the energy ley lines, about the grid systems, the whatever it is has been the inverted. When you can look at it the way I can see it now, it's like, oh my God, I've seen cities that I've driven in just looking like collapsing places that are not being replenished, and the people are just so starved of nutrition, of
mm,
energy
mm.
because of the inverted system. It's
Yeah,
like, oh my God, bring this online within our bodies and within the work that we do because it's so important that we're all participating. Okay, it's
yeah,
really, really important. So,
yeah,
everything that we're having trouble with, it's, we can call it shadow, but it's all this wounding. But there's been those that have wanted to have us that way. And
for
I
sure.
say, no, I'm sorry, you've had your run. It's no
Yeah.
longer time for you. It's time for the Christics to come on board and to
They so had their
take the
run.
place back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah. And I've been seeing we talk about uh the newness and the new templating, the stuff that's happening within the body, yes, but on this whole spectrum. And I've seen people that have traveled around into different parts of the globe, and putting up photos. And they might be, well known sort of sacred sites as such, but I'm seeing the template shift in there that people are not going to walk onto those places any longer and feel the old history. They're not going to pick up
Oh,
that old
good.
sensing. Some will, but others are going to
Yes.
move through and find that they're in a totally new space with it. There isn't the old memory coming through anymore. And I'm really loving that because it's like, oh God, we're so done with all of that. So much. But yeah,
I know,
it's
and all
cool.
of the modern history hasn't written what's happened in the Earth history anyway. So it's like I'm reading it and going,
No,
no, that's not what happened. Okay. I don't believe much of anything,
yeah,
actually. I'm quite
yeah,
skeptical. But at the same
me
time, I
too,
say, yes,
honestly.
everything has happened, just not what you think it has.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. And it's beautiful coming into that realization because what we do is we drop away from all of it. I just don't trust or believe any of it anymore. It's like everything for me is just completely the opposite or different. So it's finding out what is your truth for sure, but that definitely is mine now. So none of it interests me in respect to that. And then you get some information that comes in that is just absolute. You go, yeah, that's totally the truth for me. And but it's what we might call new information now because like everyone was, Lemuria rising again. Well, actually, we're not doing that again. We're not repeating that. We're in a different new space. It's like new energetic. It's not dropping back into the same old and repeat. I mean, go for it if that's what you want to do. But yeah,
I'm with you on that. It's like, no, been there, done that. And we seriously, we have, and look what happened last time. No, I don't want to do that. I'm still bridging that trauma. Um,
for
but
sure, right? No,
I
no, thank
think
you.
I know I don't understand why people want the same that we've already done. But anyway, that's their thing.
Yeah,
And it has
yeah,
some sort of
totally.
safety built within
Absolutely.
it. And so like I know that. And so want to go back there. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
this I'm with you.
absolutely. And
This is the end. It's not the end of the end. This is like eternal, eternal, the eternal brought here to be experienced in this world. And I mean, I've got a lot of differences on, there is still, I'm going to say this right now since I've got a platform, yours. There is no, we have to let
go
go
for
of the Armageddon program. The
yeah,
Armageddon program, you think that we're going to be raptured, we're going to be separated and all that rest of it. And it's like, no, you are programmed. That is a program. The Armageddon program stopped a long time ago. And it's time we grow up. It's time to expand our knowledge, okay? It's
yeah.
time to let go of programs. Anything that does not see wholeness or create the gathering of all being a part of this, me one with all creation, is absolutely not serving the unity of the one,
No,
okay? It's all one.
yeah,
It's like there's no
absolutely.
separation in what's coming.
Yes,
Yeah.
for
So if
sure.
you're praying for someone and not other people, okay, incorrect position, that is a religious program. Yeah. And there's many of
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
So I've
for
been
sure.
working all of them. They've been in my body through my tree of life, siphoning energy out for me. Okay, this is what we've been doing. We were born into this system to heal it, not just ourselves, but bringing our tree of life, our internal architecture back online from
Mm-hmm.
those areas that they've like chopped our heads off, so we can't actually connect to source because we're too busy surviving. Where in
Mm,
actual fact, we do have full connection to source, okay, and we have full capacity to come back in and
yeah,
be our
sure.
specialty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whitney
And
always says that. It's like, be your specialty.
yeah. And I mean, a lot of people aren't seeing it as exciting, but I definitely always have, and I always will because it is. Um, and and just that realization too, or the knowing that we actually are making a difference. Like there was a long time there where it felt like we were just regurgitating, stuck in this muck.
Yeah.
And that didn't seem to be shifting as quickly as what we wanted it to shift. Now it's like really moving very quickly, and we're starting to see actual progress. And those
Yes.
who aren't, I'd say start looking for that because it's there. It's there. It's just a matter of bringing your awareness to it and attention to it and focus. But with that too, we're talking about I really want to get into this combo about the twin flame sort of thing. I used to always go "Bleh." When I heard twin flame, it was like, oh, spew, because there was just this fluffy fantasy type of idea around it, which just didn't feel to me like being what I felt it was, whatever that might have been at the time. Um,
Yeah, that's fair enough.
and now I see there's been parts of it for me that have shifted. And it's like slowly, I've had these, I suppose, blindfolds taken off around it all, and awareness is coming in that are saying to me around, like, that are speaking more the truth of what I feel it is and has been all the time. Um, and because I was also in a relationship that I felt was this, but yet I never put that term on it. It was like that because I didn't like that term. It felt like, oh, you're
Yeah.
special. When I was feeling like it's not about separating everyone up, it's about bringing everyone together. And that felt like separation. If we didn't have a twin flame relationship, you weren't in a good one. You know, there was a lot of stuff that went along with that for a long time. Um, and now seeing that change for me. And you sent me something this morning, it was, and I sat there
Yes.
and listened to that. And that really came into some real deep truth for me. So
Wonderful.
I would love you to just talk about, yeah, but do you need me to say anything more around that for you to go into it or and
I
bring
don't
up a
know, I can
particular
talk
point?
underwater.
Yeah, cool.
Look, to be quite honest, until I actually came into the twin flame relationship, I had no idea of it. I hadn't listened to it, I hadn't been a part of the goss, I wasn't a part of the new age stuff. So, which was kind of good because it meant I wasn't actually tainted by anything. So the
Yes.
the the shame about it's not shame. I love the new age movement. I know it has so much inversion in it, okay? But why is that? Because of the little child that's been hurt and they're looking for something and they're wanting to get home.
Yeah.
Every soul wants to come home. And so they're doing this and doing that on their
Mm,
journeys home. But you don't buy into disunity consciousness, you only buy into unity consciousness. And
yeah.
Father, Mother God, the cosmic mother, okay, the cosmic mother, the divine magnetic, divine masculine, the cosmic father, the divine electric, okay, and the way it happens. And that lady that you listened to was from Ashiana Dean. And my God, I wish I had that video like 4 years ago. Just sits, is amazing. She was teaching this in the early 2000s and then had her own twin flame ignition. And I have to say that everything she's spoken from dreams and revelations and the inner worlds, and that has been what Whitney and I have um, often, I mean, I'm talking often experienced. And then we've been able to come back into the Lisa Renee materials from energetic synthesis. Oh my God. We just look up those two places. If you're wanting reference, okay, that's true references coming through your dreams and your soul life, okay, your connections, etc. I keep getting a word through or whatever. Look it up in energetic synthesis or the Ascension glossary. Very powerful. And the other one that you watched today is Ashiana Dean from the Kathara. Okay, if you have a look up. And I just want to say, if you're researching anything in ChatGPT, put Ashiana Dean and the Christic stuff, and you'll actually get some really good information through as a foundational
Yeah.
conscious knowledge that will come through.
Mm,
Um, so yeah, so I became this, and it's like,
mm,
oh my God, I just know this, but I didn't have understanding of and was in confusion about what I was that was there and what I was moving towards,
yeah.
and yet
Yeah.
parts of us
Mm,
have to be healed in what we call it as ascension bridge. So some of us have karmic relations with people from many lifetimes before, and they're often called. So there's three counterparts in the twin flame journey. That is like a fail-safe mission because we're in a fail-safe mission right now. It is to get us home, okay? Get this
yeah.
system lifted and get home. So there is nothing fluffy about the twin flame journey, okay? It is full dedication to
Yeah.
create safe passage for our souls to get home because we've been stuck in the reincarnational process for all of these eons of time, many of us for a very long time. So because we've got that mission on us and mandate, we will do what it takes to create those passageways to bring our people home. Okay, that's why we came here in the first place and got stuck because we're actually trying to
Mm,
create those gates, the opening of certain gates, so that we could actually get people through so they had access to the higher
yes.
dimensions. So
Yeah.
there's been a lot of manipulation. That's why we're here. Okay, so when it actually happened to me, um, it was massive. You know, I had to both receive it and go, I don't know, and yet I know. Okay, so
Mm,
you're
mm,
going on all of your own knowings for this. It was huge.
yeah.
You're going against the grain of what other people think. Okay, you're having to stand in positions that other people may not agree with. All right. But I say in my book, you know, the planet is being reordered.
Mm,
We are being reorganized so that we're with the right people in the right time and space. So it's up to us to get ourselves into the right time and space, okay, so that we can actually live the coding and the mission. And it's all about recoding. Everything's about coding, okay? So you're there picking up the batons that you've buried, like a dog with a bone. You know how they've got lots of secret places? I was shown many years ago that I was to pick up all my batons. And they are the codings of all these different lives. And this is a part of the movies that's going to be made. So beautiful. How many different lives we've actually lived. Where have I left my bones? Okay, I've got bones all over this world, I just want to say. Haven't we? Yeah, I've been here a long time, in and out, and I've got bones everywhere. Are they sacred? Well, not really, but, you know, it's got my codes there. You know, I've been those beautiful originals. I've been all of these different ones. I've been someone who couldn't actualize. I've been just this lost and alone man in a unit in London. You know, I've just been all of these different types of things. But this is time to actualize. So it is time to awaken. So for those that have a problem with twin flames, I'd be going to the Ashiana as a source. Come out of New Age, okay, so that you get real information instead of watered down information. Remember that the greatest way to baffle a person is to give you the full information and then overload you and then mock it. Okay, so it's like, yeah, we'll tell you the truth, but we're just going to give it a who believes that? If I can just stick a question mark in your head, you're not going to actualize. And yet it's the twins that are bringing through the crystal cathedral architecture that you see in this place. Okay, the crystal cathedrals are beautiful, beautiful palaces, beautiful architecture of God. You know, it's stunning. It's so beautiful. Your heart just opens up. Kuan Yin, the mother energies, the dragons, all of the elementals, elemental commands, everything comes in to ignite and excite that portal so that whoever comes into that place is being cleansed and recoded and goes out to do their Christic mission. Okay, so it's sort of like just the way it's happening on Earth in the 5G sense being affected. Okay, no, we're infecting ourselves. We're affecting ourselves big time. So everything's transforming into that, and the twin flames are a massive part of that. So they're able to draw on, like Winnie is the divine feminine, okay, and so I'm the divine masculine in my coding, but her and I, it sounds, we're like the umbilical brothers, which come from New Zealand. You know the umbilical twins? The umbilical brothers. A comedy set from New Zealand. God, I love them. But we actually have to be in close proximity. I'm sort of like elbow to elbow. So whenever we're doing any of these grid works or whatever, we are standing together as one. And so she'll be bringing in whatever it is, and I'm grounding it. I'll have this like pounding headache. I'll be just grounding it in, and vice versa. But to learn how the coding of the twins braid, how they come in, is truly a sacred journey as they come into their herogamic union and back into their own unity within. And so that's, I suppose we've been so hurt, that we stay away from that type of love, because it's such a deep love, and you do have to be vulnerable, and you do need to work together as one. And this is why they say that, the three become two, become one. Okay. So before it was like source, the two becoming one. Okay. So it's in everything that is living creation itself.
So you obviously would be, though, and correct me if I'm right, like I want your view on this, is that you're not a blend of the divine masculine feminine, both of you together. You play out more the divine masculine in your sense than Whitney does in hers. So it's not a blend of both and within your own form.
So within my own form, I have the divine masculine, divine feminine, divine inner child.
Yes.
Okay, which is now the golden child, violet child, which is the
Right.
Christos sphere. That is
Yes.
the new earth energies. So I have that within my body. I'm creating out of that. So I'm 100% me,
Mm-hmm.
100% me inside my own signature.
All of it.
Whitney is
Yes.
100% all that she is, as the divine masculine, divine feminine, divine inner child. And this is the interesting, and this is why twin flames are very powerful in their Christic mission and in their energy work. Okay, is
Yes.
because that comes together with this coming together. And as we do that, then there's a whole nother explosion of us going on.
Yes.
And then, of course, we've got the cosmos and the inner and outer worlds flowing. So when you've got all of that action happening, I mean, some of Ashiana, so Ashiana Dean is the authority. Okay, she actually shows the flowering of the shields, the monadic shields, and how they all work. Different twin sets with different jobs. Whether we've come to understand, some twins are going to wait another lifetime before they actually come online with this whole thing and blossom. Some are interested, some aren't. Okay, some still have the old stories, going on about it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like, but I tell you what, we work with ones that are just going, boom, oh my God, I'm dreaming this. I'm in the deity planes. I'm where we came from. So when we
Yeah.
drop down here and separate it out, we were taken from our own gardens, our own mansions beyond. This is the Garden of Eden story. Okay, and so when we dropped into this is where timelines and incarnational cycles happen. So we're gathering all of that up by getting rid of clearing the inverted system, which is what they're talking about, the shadow, of course, clearing the
Yes.
inverted system. And essentially, it's a bit boring after a while because you can actually look at it and go, oh, all they've done is taken that from that because they came into our universe kind of sideways, started tapping in, energy out. So they've been trying to feed themselves, of course, all this time until they
Mm.
built these extraordinary infiltrations and massive structures that invert our true native and natural self, okay, our God
Yes.
self
Yeah.
being. And so that's what we're shutting off and saying, sorry, not
Mm.
feeding on us anymore. Off you go. Mm.
Yeah. Um, I that going into that, what was her name? Sorry, that you sent me this morning?
Ashayana Dean.
Ashiana.
Okay.
Yeah. So listening to that, and I listened to it 2 or 3 times, and one of the things that happened for me when I, met my husband was there was a major impact. Everything disappeared, and I had this tunnel of energy that just went from his eyes to mine, and we were across 2 rooms, so through doorways, and saw him, and then everything disappeared, and I just saw this tunnel. He was at the other end, and that was us.
How
We were
cool is that?
inseparable. It was very cool, but listening and over time, so as we got through into our relationship, there was just this awareness for me that I needed to get away from this. I needed to pull myself out. And what I had been doing over lifetimes was working my way out. And what I realized was that at a very young soul, this, which was way, way, way back on one of the ancients, and what I realized was that I was taken from, it was like taken from light to dark. And I was held in this darkness. And I was looked after in a sense by this person, this soul, which I became to it ended up where I actually really did love this soul. There was a love that grew because this soul changed its way with me and started protecting me rather than persecution. And so over time, it was a loyalty thing. I became
Mm.
in love or loved this soul because of this protection, and this loyalty that I had was immense. And in this lifetime, I realized that actually I have been trying to free myself from this darkness through to light, which we could say is what's happening on a
Yes.
global scale here. Yes, I get it. But after listening to this recording with this lady this morning and how we have been, it's been brought around that we find these souls that we fall in love with in the sense of what we consider twin flame or the one, um, and that it's actually Anunnaki. And I used to always say, this man is from, he's reptilian. I'm sure he's reptilian. I'm sure he's that person. But yes, he's learnt to bring himself into a space of love, right? And so for me, there was always this question mark, but it was very clear. It became not a question mark at all. I knew it, and I thought, well, that's okay. He's been through lots, and he's growing as well, so he was evolving. But one of the things that I knew I absolutely had to do this lifetime was learn how to live here without him, because we had been so bound that each
Yeah,
lifetime we
wow.
came in and we were in that space of being each other's partner. And I knew that I needed to break free of this lifetime, which is exactly what I did. I moved away from him. He was begging me not to, and it was very difficult, like really, really hard for me to do this.
Jeez, it's
And
hard.
so
Yeah.
on that in that space, I learned how to be more about me rather than dedicating my life to him and our us as a thing. Um, what I also knew was that it had to be done this time, like this time. This was really crucial
Yeah.
for us to get
Yeah.
to that point this lifetime. When he passed away, which was just over a year ago, he 4 hours after he passed, I had this incredible, insane experience where I thought I was leaving the planet because I thought I've done this so many times. When he's gone, I've gone too.
Whoa.
Whether we've been female, male, whatever roles we played out in each
Yes.
lifetime, but it's been every lifetime. And I knew this one, he came back in because I had asked him to, but he didn't really want to. He was very tired. He's over it as well. And his body was like his old body that I first knew ever. And it was different to other forms here. His shape, his way. And I got all that very clear this time. So in my process of letting go, I did learn to live here without him, and I learned to love me more as such and bring my love back to me.
Wow.
And find
Yeah.
my boundaries and find my voice, but it was a massive trying to sever. So when he passed, 4 hours after he'd passed, this sensation was like, and I'm sure you've had it, where spirit moved through your body, and it's like they cut, there's a moment, a second of life force being sort of almost, well, that went on for a matter of probably 10 minutes or more. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to go with him again. No, I'm not. I have to stay here. And I'm trying to anchor, really ground myself back in and hold myself here. And interestingly, my beautiful old sage of a cat here, he came and sat on me. And it was like he was sitting right on my puku, and he was holding me here. He's going, "You're not going anywhere. I'll help. I'll help." So what happened was, after that incident, I sort of was like, okay, what the hell has just happened here? Because it was very different. And what I got very clearly, and I cried because I'm like, high five, Lee, we've done it, was that it was
Mm.
all of
Yeah.
his essence leaving my cellular, leaving my essence. It was that whole process of all of his energy leaving mine. And I knew then, I thought, we've actually done it. And now I know that he has free will and where he goes from here, and what he chooses to do from now on. But because of all of our emotional entwining, we were calling each other back in every single time. And I know I was over it. But I was
Yeah.
under the illusion
Massive.
of him being that one. And what I've come to realize is, yes, I grew to love him because there was just so many lifetimes together. But what I also made in that statement, in a statement that I made when he passed and when I was in the relationship anyway with him, was I will never love like this again. It's too painful. I'm never doing this again. And what that meant is I said to myself, I'm never having another relationship. I'm not going to go there because it's too painful.
Yeah.
But when we come through this space now, where I look at what I know now, is that I was under an illusion of that being that relationship, special twin flame thing, and we are one, and blah, 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 to recognizing that that was all part of the illusion of my whole life and lifetimes after lifetime, which we've all been in that elusive place where we've been tricked into major misunderstandings. And now I go, I am not living the rest of my life alone. I am opening my door to this
Yes.
being my true love stepping forward and claiming that
Yes.
space for myself, because I know in true love, whatever that is and however it rolls, it's not painful. We create pain through our memory and through our pain that we've already experienced. It's not in the higher state. So that's me. I just thank you so much for sending me that, because I used to always say I have to come out of this. This dark has had me, it's caged me, and it's kept me there.
Yeah.
It was definitely through those, and when I look at the clan, not so much his sisters and his birth family, but his clan of people around him, they were dark entities. And that's why I couldn't stay, because I knew I was like, he was the
Yep.
opposite of this. And not always, not completely. You know what I'm saying, though. So yeah,
Absolutely.
it's been definitely interesting.
You've
Massive,
done
massive
great.
trip. Massive trip.
Yeah. You know, when you look at this whole realm, it is made up of the victim, intimidator, and rescuer. Okay.
Yeah.
So, a victim, it came through to me one day because I went through a very big part of letting go of the rescuer. So the
Yes.
rescuer is, remember, the tree growing sideways.
Yeah.
So what have I been doing all my life has been in service. Okay, I had to come out into the free world as a first and primary creator. Um, so when you have a victim, or think of yourself as a victim needing a rescuer, incorrect position. If you
Mm,
are an intimidator, okay, forcing your views on others or whatever it is, of course, you're in incorrect position. And the victim, this is really interesting, okay? The victim is also in an incorrect position. Why is this? One, it's a program. It's the inverted system, okay? If we can keep you as a victim for as long as possible and layer it with a whole lot of stuff that you never get to the basis like you did,
that's right.
okay, then you're going to be a great slave, okay? And that's what we've been. So we're coming out of slavery. But listen to this. This is what came through to me. So a victim is one who perceives lack of some sort within themselves and so
Mhm.
takes it from another.
Yes, for sure.
So
Yeah.
a victim is someone who lacks something, perceives lack within themselves, and so takes that thing from another. So it could be love, and when we look at ourselves as victims, and it's like, oh my God, I thought I was a pretty whole person. What am I actually taking from other people? It might be a really soft sell type area, psychological attention, might be
Mm,
all sorts of different
mm,
things. Attention's a big one. Or am I actually being an intimidator because of my lack of self within
mm,
myself? So when we're actually doing anything outside the self that I truly am, I'm actually playing the game. Okay, and that's well documented in this book. If you want to learn it, it's a biggie. Um, but on every single level of this inverted system is the game. Okay, victim,
yes.
intimidator, rescuer.
Mm,
And we
mm,
have to let the programs go. We've got to let go of the crucifixion programs. All the Mary Michael lines have been reverted. All the PowerPoints that have been taken over. Everything that is siphoning out of and just leaving
mm.
dust behind. I'd really like to mention this. Oh, back to you just for a moment. What a freaking awesome job, Mandy. There is immense. That mean that
Well,
you came out of needing to be rescued.
oh, totally. I was over that for ever. But it's when I listened to that, and she was saying about how important, and I do know that when there's a when there's a click in it, like really powerful unit, and that's what I used to be annoyed with in respect to where I was with my husband, because he was powerful very much, but it wasn't working with me, and bringing it together to unify and work in a collective, in a sense of us together. We weren't becoming that power unit, and it used to really frustrate me, because I know what that
And
is,
that's a
and
big
I know that I've
indicator.
had that. Yeah.
Yep.
And so that was where I got frustrated and said, no, not for me anymore. I was tired of trying to generate him into. And so when I realized that in this conversation that oh God, I keep forgetting her name, was saying in this recording, was that the twin flame are very powerful. They're a powerful couple and a power unit. And this is why we've been teamed up with Anunnaki, is because they're trying to keep that from happening, really trying to keep it from happening. They didn't
Yep.
want us all matching up with our twin flame. It's too powerful. So therefore,
Right.
this is where I can see now where many others are coming on board with this. They don't quite get it, and I get that, because we don't until we do. But I can
Yeah.
see that this is now where we're standing in that space where, when all this starts unifying, when we all start unifying with our twin flame, that is just going to be insanely cool. Like more and more are happening. I get it. More and more
Yeah,
are
it's
stepping into that space.
yeah, it is very cool. People, there's so much that people don't understand about the twin flame side of it. And we really do have to sign off soul contracts. Another thing I've thrown in the book is how to sign off soul contracts. Because when you've had many lifetimes with someone, you want to actually bring all of their lifetime contracts to you and burn that out so there's no
Yeah.
more karmic intervention happening. They can't reach you. And that's where you actually both go into light and become your own God self present so that you can be primary creator for your own life
Yes.
without the attachment. So it gets rid of all of the emotional attachment. So there's a lot there. You also have three other things, and I'll just explain to you for your audience. You have the twins, you've got the soulmate. So this is a part of the twin set. You have the soulmate, which is often a karmic soulmate for whatever reason that's playing the karma
Mm-hmm.
out. So you've got karmic lives together. You've got you've got twin souls, okay, which are a catalyst into finding your twin flame. All right. And then you've got, oh, thanks for that book I was going to show you. So then you've got the twin souls,
Beautiful.
which is now obsolete, but is because we're actually in a rapid ascension journey now. Everything's sped up. It was like, here's the window. Let's do it. Let's create the passage out of here. Okay. So everything's been sped up. Everything's coming in to help us. So we don't actually need the twin souls. So the twin souls are a part of that three or triune group of you. So the karmic soulmate is anyone that you're fighting with and you've still got karmic lifetimes. And if you know that,
Right.
seriously, finish the karma, do your trauma. Do your trauma, do your trauma, do your trauma until that is
Yeah.
finished and you come off the chart, you come into your ascension path. Twin souls, oh, they're the greatest
Yeah.
love. Honestly, the most beautiful people in the world. Oh, we love them. We love them. We love them. Love them. And you can mistake that love for the twin flame. It is not. It is a prerequisite to
Yes.
meeting a twin flame. And this is why they don't stay with you or don't work out. So if one's a karmic twin, okay, they're going to actually leave at some point. Thanks, Tom. What's going on then is they have to finish, they're going to drive you nuts. Okay, you have to finish your pain. If you don't finish your pain, it's going to keep coming up and coming up, coming up. So while you're actually bringing your own consciousness back to neutral, your subconscious back to neutral, you will actually then come out a victim to that person. Okay, you finish your karma off. The twin soul is an ignition point that is introducing you to your twin flame. It's like a catalyst that's pushing you into a whole new thing for the ignition, for the electric male to ignite the magnetic female. And when that happens in the higher planes, everything changes, all right? But if you think of these three people, now this is the cool part. These three souls are also, all of us are looking for our twin flame because we all have one. So the twin soul, for example, or let's go back to the soulmate. In this, the karmic soulmate with you actually has a twin soul and a twin flame. So he's trying to finish off business here so I can go boom and boom into his twin flame relationship. So this is the magnificent of this creation, okay? The twin soul is, she's already done perhaps her own journey with her soulmate, okay, from years ago, okay, blah, 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 cleaned up all the karma on that. She is looking and sometimes can go boom on us, because it actually did happen to me. I didn't know what it was. But she was searching past me, of course, to her twin flame, all right, just as I was. So soulmate, twin soul, twin flame. And every single one of those divine counterparts has contractual covenants within our hearts. So if that leaves, if you can actually burn a soul contract like I teach in my book, it's not the twin flame contracts, okay? Because these are forever covenants that will not leave your heart. And I've been through terrible pain where that was being proven to me, okay? And that agony or that love will not be severed because it's a forever coming out of the divine counterpart union that was catalyst for bringing us back. Honestly, this whole thing is genius, absolute genius, the way it's all set up. This is the book I was telling you about, Mandy.
So, oh yes, twin flame union, yeah.
With Portia and Saint Germain. And it's an amazing little book of how lifetimes work, how incarnation works, how they found each other, etc. It's a wonderful thing. And how to come into the God self, that there is more than just being a single entity here. If we take on the twin flame and the union, the hierogrammic union within the God self of us.
Right. So Dawson, when you mention twin soul and twin flame, what is I thought the same. I thought they are the same. So we have I get the soul in the sense of that twin in the sense. So you're meaning I can you explain? Because I'm gonna ramble on and it probably waste a whole lot of time. So what makes the difference between the soul and the flame? I thought the soul was the flame.
Well, they're three different souls to start off with. Okay, so three different persons that you know, and they play different roles. So you've got ones that, like during a lifetime, you'll have many soul contracts, what I just call soul contracts. When I'm 20, fall in love with this guy, have great attraction. That great attraction is a great love. And some people go, oh no, I've had this all my life, and that's my twin flame. Not necessarily. It could have been your first contract and you've never expanded into any of your other contracts. Okay.
Yes.
Many people don't.
Right.
They just
Yep.
sort of mellow with their first contract. Because generally a new contract can come in from 4 to 7 years on and on. And people find this very hard in a society that's monogamous, which I believe in, but not till death do us
I
part
get it.
necessarily. It's to bring us into the eternal being, okay, of union. So that is why I always get people to practice signing off contracts, because at least you know then, okay, that if they're still there driving you nuts and you haven't done work on it, there'll probably be a soul contract, a soulmate, because they've got that karmic journey to clear. And it's not about them, by the way. I want to say it's about you. Okay, it's
Yeah.
only about you. It's not they're a nasty person. No, if you've got anything that you're not neutral on, then that's karma and it's in you. Okay, your fear, your stuff needs to be healed so that is neutralized. So it's not about them doing the work, it's about you doing the work. Let's clean that up. Now, the twin soul, I don't know, I'm just going to have to use the words of one that said it. The twin souls are like two great lights moving around looking for one another. And you know that you're going to find that soul at some point. You're actually looking for them. And what it does is it actually turns you on to looking for the twin flame. Okay. And usually it's someone in close proximity. And it's like it happened to me. And it was amazing. And we recognized each other, but not understanding any of these dynamics at the time. So it was like great energy, amazing what was going down, great healing propensities, all sorts of things were just a beautiful part of it. It was a very positive relationship. But it wasn't, we still have that, no, okay, there's more. So there's kind of a more thing, but it's very confusing if you're in it, in the way we
Yeah.
label things and then make decisions. It always worries me about how twin flames are making decisions on things because they've got so much misinformation to plow through. So let's just clear that up a little bit. So what they're actually looking for, so even if they don't go bang, and they might go bang, okay, which is an absolute wonderful thing, generally they will remember things, okay? So it might be historical past, things that they've influenced they're not very happy with, or whatever it is. It could be all sorts of different reasons, but you don't come together as the twin flame couple because you aren't that. And it's like you're searching still for that other part, and
Right.
that's your
Yes.
twin flame.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So soulmate, karmic soulmate, twin soul, and twin flames are all different parts of the same triune group, okay, your own little clique that all has covenants within your heart center. And it hurts. I tell you what, when someone tugs on that, it
Yeah.
hurts. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not something that you can clear. You can clear all of your lifetime karmic stuff with you from just releasing soul contracts, but you can't actually
Mm.
get rid of the internal nature of these
No.
that are part of your love family.
Mm.
So hopefully that'll help us to be compassionate.
Yeah, true.
Mm. I
Yeah.
think with your story with the Anunnaki side of it's very interesting because the strands of DNA that were within us that's been genetically mutated and things like that, even though we all have 12, 24, 48 strands or more back to source, that part of ourselves is always going to be less than the total Christic architecture. And so that's when you're looking in the world at a Mr. Policeman or someone who's trying to govern you, and they're sitting like a big old frog on a lump and saying, well, this is the law, this is what it is.
Mm.
And you can
Mm.
absolutely be certain that they're a part of the system that is going, well, you may think that you're the law, but in actual fact, I want you to stand down. Okay? And so our
Mm.
Christic nature can actually say, stand down, okay, within and inside ourselves. And that's what I'm showing in this book as well. It's got a lot
Mm.
to do with knowing who you are and the authority that you've got. And that
Yeah.
situation will go from a bad one or an interfering one into one that's just benign and we all walk away. Okay.
Mm.
So
Mm.
those less than strands of DNA, and again, this is where Ashiana Dean is brilliant at teaching it, is that she's teaching you the breakdowns and how to release it and that's where that's Ashiana Dina's work. And then Lisa Renee has actually got a lot of clearing treatments that you can actually be doing a lot of clearings and that knowing your Christic self, bringing in the Christic teams and how that works. And it's very powerful light work. We've used
Mm.
it all the
Mm.
time.
Yeah, it works great. Yeah. Yeah,
Mm,
lovely, Serena. Wow, well,
yeah.
this has been really, really interesting and such a beautiful conversation. And definitely would like to talk with Whitney as well. We'll get her on and shoot the breeze with her. And what, if anything else, Dawson, would you like to put out there for everyone? If
I do have a big one, but it's about another 10 minutes, and I don't know whether you want to do that.
yeah, no, that's good. Yep.
That's okay?
Yeah.
All right. One of the big things that been having problems with is learning who I am. Okay, and I want to say that we are elemental beings. We are dragon beings. We are beings of total creation, and we carry the light of God. We are carriers of light, and we take that wherever we go because our coding is so pure. Okay, and even though we don't realize that, we are this, and so every little thing within, doesn't matter, is made up of living creation. And so if I actually look at this mouse, okay, nothing flash about that, but that is actually formed through digging something up out of the ground. Okay, I want you to think this and I want you to feel it. So this has actually been dug up out of the ground somewhere. Okay. And what that is wherever that came from to get like the petroleum that goes into the plastics or whatever it is that makes up that plastic, okay, has actually come from nature. So everything that we touch, consume, or whatever, most of it, though in existence above the earth, has come from nature, has been taken. And so I was dealing with a lot of anger around the chemtrailing, okay? And one day I actually was sitting with a cloud, and this cloud was sitting in front of me. I'm on the island in BC, Canada, and it was sitting there for 3 days. And I go, this is how you know something's fake. It's no moving. Real clouds move with the wind, with the
Yeah.
currents, right? This is just sitting. So start looking for unnatural things. Okay. So what happened was I was told this particular day, I'd been doing this for a while, and I was saying, New Earth Elementals, please take these people back home again.
Mm, yeah.
Okay, so we'll just continue on. All
Yeah.
right, so I was told by my soul to actually reach up beyond the cloud into the higher atmosphere. And as I went up there, this message came through from the elemental beings themselves. Okay, and it said, "We are your brethren. We are elemental beings, and we've been taken from our homes. Okay, we've been dug up, we've been blown up, we've been taken from our homes, and we are as displaced peoples."
Yep.
Okay. And I want us to really understand this because this mouse that I was just showing you is a group of elementals that have been dug up from somewhere, blown up, traumatized. Imagine if a bomb just went through your house, and we understand that this happens all the time. We know what displaced peoples are. That is what our brethren have gone through. And I just wept. Okay. And it's like, oh my God. They said, please send us home. And so from then on, we've been doing this for a number of years. Every time we see a chemtrail, we actually ask the New Earth Elementals and the dragons to take them back home so they can be restored. Okay, so I've been doing this quite some time. Guess what? That cloud dissipated within 30 minutes. We are actually changing weather
Yeah.
because we are understanding that we are elemental beings. My body is an elemental being. I am an elemental being. I'm an angelic being. Okay, we fly the vortexes. Okay, I've flown the lakes in Canada forever. It's like there is so much to us and what we actually are in our purity, but we're not understanding how to logically put it into practical light work. And so I
That's
want to share
right.
this because this is really important. So we've been clearing all the way out through our travels, okay? big clearings to fix the inverted system, but also as soon as I see a chemtrail, we get everyone onto it, and they're reporting back to us now that the weather is changing, the seasons are changing. Now, why is geoengineering happening? I believe personally because it's part of the inverted system and to block the sun. Okay, the sun is life. If you block life, then guess where you're going to get your food from? Wherever they grow it, where their sun is. Okay, so we're actually in a market. It's all being marketed. We're being marketed. It's all commodities. So I've always watched the financial systems where it comes from. These things are happening, and our people need to look up a little bit higher than the usual flight paths because they're extremely obvious. Now, the other day, Whitney and I traveled across Canada on one of our last big trips, which was only weeks ago. And we went past this town, and it was a big mining town, or a little mining town, actually, because mining towns usually run out of puff after a while and the population disperses.
Yeah.
But it was pulling gold. Gold. There were gold mines, massive. I'm talking silted mountains going for kilometers. Great big open pits going for kilometers, taking stuff out of the earth, okay, creating displaced peoples. Now I'm talking, so then there was amethyst mines. And I'm going, what are you going to dig up amethyst for? What reason could we possibly have to need amethyst? And I'm saying to you, spiritual people, stop it. For God's sake, we're in the diamond currency now. We're in rainbow dreaming. It's like just hold anything you like. This pen can become a diamond in a moment.
Absolutely.
You want amethyst? Reject amethyst, and you got amethyst. You don't need a rock, and you certainly don't need our beautiful elemental beings ripped out of their land, their country, and their family groups. It's like, have mercy and stop purchasing these things. Everything is about purchasing. All right, so that's enough of that. Now, getting back to this gold mine. So we went across the top of the border of Canada border, through Canada itself out to BC, went through this gold mine, and there was just silt mountain after massive mountains and mounds everywhere. You know what a mining town looks like once you leave. Okay, these mountains are absolutely dug out, removed, and all of the elementals and minerals, okay, are taken from that place. Our friends, okay, they're our friends, our people. So I've always been angry about this, and I've always done the light work, and I've encouraged others to do it. But on the way back, we got led to go through North Dakota, and I wanted to go through North Dakota because I've got significance there. We had significance there. We had to, so we came back through the US and went across to North Dakota. And we went through savannas. They're called prairies in the US, but they're called savannas in Canada. Guess what? They looked exactly the same as the mines that I had just seen as modern day mines. There were mounds. I mean, they're all grassed over. They were like 50, 60,000 years old. I swear to God that that place, and I wept like a baby, has been cleared for mining many thousands of years before, sifted within an inch of its life, all of the minerals, the gold, the resources, okay? And this is what all of these desert places are. They're not savannas. Okay, they are places that have been destroyed through greed. And we are to call those elementals home. Please call them home. Okay, if they have gone from our country out, call them back home so that they can actually meet up with their families again. If they have come from elsewhere, send them home. And then we got shown the most beautiful thing, and this is what's changed me. Okay, so I'd love to end this with this. Whitney and I, as we were doing it, we were shown a golden web. Okay, a golden web. And I myself was seen in a golden cocoon, like I was wearing a beautiful golden jacket, but I was in a cocoon of weaving, weaved cocoon, like in a golden web. And then what I was reminded was, it's really interesting because the Native American people have the dream catcher, which is what?
Yeah.
It's a web, okay? And
Mm.
I was going many years ago, it was like, oh, these people mean well, okay, in the spiritual community, but they actually
Sure.
had Indigenous Australians doing Native American dream catchers. And I'm going, that is the weirdest thing, how we've just mixed all these cultural practices up just because we think it might help someone. So anyway, they're all making these dream catchers over in WA. And I'm going, what is with this? And I go, you know what? I bet you that the Australian Aboriginal actually has their own version of dream catchers. And I looked it up, and you know they do. So what they would
Oh,
do as a
wow.
part of their craft is they would get a forked stick and then run it through a spider web, and there's their dream catcher. Now,
Oh,
what do
wow.
we use a
Yeah.
dream catcher for? Well, I was looking at these planes one day on my journey because I'm doing all this driving, okay, through North Dakota and that, and through the US, and thinking about this, and I go, oh my God, petroleum, everything that is a plane, okay, the jets out the back with the chemtrail, we've got the plane. I'm going, how do we stop this industry? Honestly, how do we bring it to a halt? Because people are poisoned by it. You know, we've got
Yeah.
Whitney's a homeopath, so she's got it in a kit. She's treating
Yeah.
people for it. Anyway, I said, how do we do this? And I'm going, oh my God. And it was like, take this net, like a tennis racket, run it right through the chemtrails and all the way through to the start of the plane. And then we actually lifted up and we got told, send it up to the mother, into the mother ark container. And this new juvenation or rejuvenation, I swear to God, the weather comes back into normal because all of the weather patterns, there is nothing normal right now, okay? We
No.
really do need
No.
to wake up to this.
Yeah.
Okay, everything is manipulations, violent floods. There is nothing. Mother Earth is not seeking revenge, okay? It is misuse of the elementals,
Oh, yeah.
the elements, putting aluminum into the air, okay, creating blockage from the sun so that your trees don't grow and your fruit doesn't come through. It's
Yes,
actually
for
really
sure.
simple, quite
Yeah.
simple. Stop your food source so that you have to go to our market instead of the local market, okay? Anything to stop, and it always happens, believe it or not, on a weekend. Why does it happen on a long weekend? We've just done 2 days of chemical spraying so that you don't go anywhere,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay? It's called control. It's
Mm.
like a lockdown. You're actually being chemically locked down each weekend. So
Yeah.
we really do have to grow up in our viewpoints on how to do it. I want you to remember the golden tennis racket, the golden web, because as I was coming through and I was seeing the new mines looking exactly the same as the landscape of the old mines in North
Yeah.
Dakota, I began to get very angry. And in the moment I got angry, I'm going, oh my God, how am I going to heal this? Because I'm angry about this all the time.
Yeah.
Doing this light work, I've got to heal myself somehow. Guess what came through? I am angry because I am an elemental being.
And what they're doing
I'm the
there is doing to
same.
you. Yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I've always been that elemental being that's been manipulated, abused, slavery, and all the type of jazz over these times. Okay.
Yeah.
And a lot of our pain and trauma is the memory of this same feeling of being victim, okay, and abuse.
Absolutely.
Okay. So this
Yeah.
is what we're healing in ourselves. And
Absolutely.
even today, my body is an elemental being. So
Mm.
everything that's coming through from that, and I hope that you'll put into that link that thing from Lisa Renee about the golden crest. Such a
Yes, I will.
powerful thing to read
Mm.
because that has just changed my whole viewpoint about myself so I can come into total consciousness, bringing parts of myself home because
Mm.
I'm recognizing myself. See, all of this needs to come home And I want to say to you people, stop digging stuff up. Okay,
Yeah.
really seriously, stop it.
Yeah. I
And
agree.
I don't know
Absolutely.
how we're going to do it, but we have to stop digging holes in our
Exactly.
planet and heal
Exactly.
it, send them home. Please send
Yeah.
the people home.
Honestly, when
Thank
my
you.
mother passed away, she had a terrible, terrible aggressive cancer. Um, and and of course she chose to do the chemo trip, and they'd put, the chemo needle in the hand here, and you know, and often it would spill onto her skin when that happened. There'd be a leak when they're pulling the needle out or whatever it might be. And it ate
Mm,
away like an acid. And
Jeez.
and that's like,
Yeah,
okay, this is
yeah.
mum's choice, and I get all that, but
I
there
know.
was a lot
It's
of it
hard to
that was
watch,
horror
isn't
for
it?
me. But anyway, years later, it is. And years later, I was watching an agricultural program that we have here called Country Calendar, and it dives in each documentaries around a little series around particular farmers or whatever's going on agriculturally and horticulturally on the planet on in New Zealand. And anyway, this day they were talking with orchardists over in the Hawke's Bay who do all the apple orchard and lots of apple. And they showed a huge, big needle that they place in underneath the tree into the roots of the tree,
Mm,
and pump this chemical in which sterilizes the ground so there's no bugs and things that get up into the tree and the apple.
mm. Yep.
Honestly, I saw
Broke your
this and
heart.
I just instantly, my mother's hand and her body,
Yeah.
and I'm going, they're doing this to my mother. They're doing it to my mother. They're doing it to my mother. Like it just
Yes.
kept going the same
Oof,
thing.
it's
It
just
was
dreadful.
just terrible. I just
Yeah.
broke down. I absolutely
Yeah.
lost it. It was just, and
Yeah.
I'm thinking, this is just not on. Why are we allowing all this to happen? Like, actually,
Because the people will not say no. I mean,
I
the people
know.
gave their bodies as a, I'm going, if you're going to go give your body to science, supposedly, you actually just gave it to a biotech trade platform.
Yeah,
And it's like, don't insert anything into a full vibrational world that is perfect. Oh, if you want to
exactly.
assist in healing this, I want you to run a golden web through the body, because guess what those
Mm,
horrible things are? They're elementals that have
yeah,
been dug up from somewhere that you have consumed, and you can release them. This is a
yeah,
big healing tool that's coming through right now. So use this, because everything is elemental.
yeah.
Anything in your body, okay, that is not correct, elementals, lift it out. New Earth
Mm,
elementals, please take these elementals home to their rightful owner, their rightful place.
yeah,
Okay, and you can heal yourself, because it's all just inverted, back to front and upside down. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
for
it for
sure.
me. I'm really grateful. Thank you for that last moment in time. I really wanted to get that message across.
Oh,
Let's do the
thanks
work,
so much.
clear up the weather, get the
Mm,
true harvests coming
absolutely.
through, bless the people, heal the
Mm,
bodies.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Thank you so, so much. This has been beautiful. And
Thanks,
I'm
Mandy.
sure all this, our audience will definitely soak this up because it's been amazing. So thank you so much for all you're doing. And I can't wait to see some of these movies that you're creating.
They're really awesome,
Yeah.
honestly. Please keep coming into your Christic selves, because what you're going to be doing next timeline is amazing, because it's going to be a download. I should tell you about that one day, because that's amazing how it changed. So Dawson Dobson's download with the new God self comes down, different person, different attributes, qualities, etc. And I want to say this really important last message is that you show up because it's already been scripted by you. It's
For
you that
sure.
did it. It's like,
Yeah.
forget everyone else, just show up for you, because you actually created it. Movies are already made. The
Yeah.
funders have already forked out. Okay, my team is already here. I already have my crew. It's just dropping all the time because
Yeah.
that's what you're going to be working with for your own mission signature.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
beautiful, eh?
Thank
And
you.
that's
Thank you,
fun.
Mandy. I love you, sister. I
I
love
love
you. It's
you.
been wonderful to hang out with you today.
Oh, same back, girlfriend. Beautiful. Mwah. And much love to everyone. Take good care of yourselves and your fam, and we will see you all very soon again. Lovely. Take care.